All right, yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here. 2:59. Got in early 2 days in a row now. Feeling good about that. 2:59 here in Guttenberg, Iowa. I'm still in the Guttenberg, Iowa basement. We haven't made it to the next basement yet, but we are at least live here, and that's fun. I'm happy to see you guys. Lots of people here already. That's awesome. I'm having a pretty good day, and happy to be here. Let's see. Let's make sure. Ooh, I think I forgot. I forgot to set the recording for the podcast version because I still record both of them separately because I want to make sure I get as good quality audio as I can for the people that are just listening in and not participating in live. But that started now. We're ready to go. How's everybody doing? Matthew Wenzel's here, says, yo, what's going on? Just got a pair of Fuel Cell Rebels over the weekend, and I am loving them for tempo and interval days. Can't wait for racing to come back so I can set some PRs in them. Yeah, it's a good shoe. I'm a big fan. Martha's here. J. My Grammy's here, says good afternoon. Let's see. Frank Lahulier's here as well. Nathan and Bert Legues as well. Ty Matt. Awesome. Good to see everybody. TJM Run says, yo, Grit 300 coming up. I'm in. Awesome. That's cool. Yeah, we got it in 3 days coming up here. So cool. Luis Becerra's here. Cody Davis says, hey, yo. Raymond Galicia says, yo. Mark Chancoco says, what's up? What's up? Awesome. Stevie76 says, yo, what's going on? Very cool. Good to see everybody. My mom's here too as well. Hi, Mom. How are you? My mom told me the other day that, and I hope this is okay to share this with the world, Mom, but my mom says she didn't say she was injured. I got to talk to her to follow up on it, and I'm a bad son. I haven't followed up. But she said she was hurt a little bit and not feeling great, so she took a couple of rest days. So I hope that that's not because I just sent her some new shoes. I sent her and my dad some new running shoes. I hope it's not from that, but we'll see. I will get the lowdown, and I'll follow up with more. The shoes that I got her were I got my mom and my dad matching running shoes, which has been like relationship goals for like me and my wife. But my wife is very picky about running shoes, and she almost never likes anything that I would like. Although right now her current shoe is the Peg 36. That's a shoe that is agreeing with her. But for my mom and dad, I got them a pair of Peg 37s, matching black and white Peg 37s. So hopefully they're enjoying that as well. And I got my mom a flip belt and some running sleeves because she wanted a flip belt and running sleeves. So we got that. Hopefully she's enjoying those. C. Chad Run says, hey, Colorado watcher and avid runner here. You rock, Kofuzi. Well, thank you. And welcome, Chad. Very cool. Let's see. Greg Itahara's here as well. Good to see you. Shannon says, hey, Ko, is your top like the 2-inch shorts you'll be wearing on the July 4th? Yeah, so this is all part of the same kind of like kit, the same series of things. And so for the 2-inch shorts that I'll be wearing for the July 4th run, or at least the July 4th video, I'll do the run on July 3rd so that the video can be on July 4th. It is this print. So I'll wear the singlet that is just like the same print, but in a singlet form, and then 2-inch shorts. So I'm going to wear a lot of sunscreen because I'll have a lot of skin exposure. MC1796 is here. Gabriel Santos coming in from Portugal. Awesome. Very cool. Luis Becerra says, hope you get better, Mrs. Ko. Well, thank you for saying that. Motivation Theory Running says, I purchased my wife and daughter the Hoka Bondi 6s. They are matchy now. Awesome. That's cool. So one of the things, there was a point where, well, they don't make any Pegasus for shoes as small as what my daughter wears. She wears she's not in like the T size shoes now. She's in like regular youth size shoes. So she must be getting close though. But I would love to at one point have matching shoes. My wife did set it up though so that we did have all the same shoe. It was with Converse. So was it Converse? There was a point where all four of us had the same shoe. It might have been Chuck Taylor's. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, and that was super fun. I really enjoyed that. Yeah. Steve says, yo, very wet run in massive thunderstorm. Looked like I had a bucket of water over me from head to toe, and the Peg 37 did well. Well, that's good to hear. And I'm glad that you didn't get struck by lightning in that thunderstorm. So glad you are safe. Richard Smart coming in from Harker Heights, Texas. Awesome. Very cool. All right. Mark's sound check says hello, hello. Cody Davis says, with your Endorphins Pros, did you go true to size? I did. So I wear a size 9 in everything. And there's only been a handful of shoes over the past couple of years where I feel like the size was wrong. There's some shoes where I'm like, I think this is how they intended it. And I don't like what they did. But for the most part, shoe sizes are, in my mind, correct for running shoe size. And so that's something that I always emphasize with people too, because people say, like, I'll just get a question on a shoe, and it's typically most often not with the Endorphin Pro, but it'll be like, I'll get it on a shoe that like is very frequently worn casually. And so people will say, like, for the Ultra Boost 20, true to size? And I'd be like, yes, true to your running shoe size. Casual shoe sizes, I feel like there's a little, I don't know if there's vanity sizing in casual shoe sizes, but like they're all over the place. But like your running shoe size, I wear the same running shoe size in Hoka, New Balance, Saucony, Skechers, Nike, Adidas, all those brands, all the same shoe size. I also think that I'm like smack dab in the middle of a 9. Like I'm not close. For people that are on the bubble, I think that there might be a little bit more kind of variation. Like sometimes if you sometimes wear a 9, sometimes you wear a 9.5, you know, then you might see more like you might have to be more picky. But for me, I just go to 9 all the way. Let's see what's going on. What else do we got? Let's see. Gavin Braden says, "Love the T-shirt, buddy." Thank you. I'm a big fan of it. I was gonna I wore it today because I was gonna mow the lawn today, and so I wanted to have that on while I mowed the lawn. But we just got a whole bunch of water toys. Like backyard, like outside, we got a water table. We got a little like mini splash pad that you connect to the hose. And so the lawn is covered in toys right now. So I get a respite from having to mow the lawn. So I'll mow the lawn tomorrow. Donna says, do you have a goal mileage you want to hit? I see you upping the mileage on Strava. I'm hoping to hit 100 this summer at some point. Right now I'm hovering at just over 80 miles per week. I'm trying to hit about 80 miles per week. That's kind of where I'm at. If, like, you know, this week started off strong, so I had 2 15-mile runs, and I did almost a little short of 11.94 just to irk motivation theory running. And I left that 0.06 on the table. So I did 11.94 miles today. So that's a pretty solid start to the week. That's very close, like a good start for a 90-mile week. But I don't know that I'll do the 90-mile week because I do have, like, I want to do that FKT for the Heritage Trail. That's like a 29-mile run, and I want to run that pretty hard, and I want to do that pretty soon. So I'm going to stay around in the 80s. And then I do think, though, as well, at some point this summer, I want to have a 100-mile week just to get that in because it's kind of like I consider high mileage weeks lower intensity and part of base building. And so like that, and it's like a nice challenge that takes multiple days. And I like those kinds of challenges more than any like one like really hard workout kind of challenge. So that's something that's very interesting to me. Patrick Fung is here again. Says hi. Made it again today. Hi everyone. Good to see you. MC1796 says 2 questions. Any tips for slightly stretching a shoe like a quarter of a size? Also favorite Korean foods. The area I live in is like more than 50% Korean. Well, very cool. I don't know about stretching a shoe. So I will tell you a funny story about my running buddy. I think he'd be okay with me sharing the story. So those of you who follow the channel for a while may remember, like I was running with my running buddy all the time, and then he disappeared for like several months. And what happened was he had some sort of thing going on with his ankle or heel, where I think that he had basically a stress fracture. And he blames it on, he had bought a pair of Peg 34s, I think. Maybe Peg 35s, probably Peg 34s, and he just didn't think they were quite fitting him too well. So that makes me think it might have been 35 because that was the year where it was like the most snug fit. And he basically took like a baseball mitt approach to it where, like, you know, when you buy a new baseball glove, you put like a can of food in there, you rub it in like the oil, like the leather oil, and then you wrap it with a couple of rubber bands and like put it under a mattress for a couple of days. He did kind of the same thing, except he put cans in his shoes to kind of stretch them out for a couple of days, and then he ran on them. And then he was like, and I don't know why, but I was really uncomfortable. And I was like, I think it's because you made your shoe dead like over the weekend. So I would say that there's probably not a way of stretching a shoe that I know of. The only thing that I can think of is like, you know, they have those like shoe inserts that people put in shoes. Like they're a lot of times they're made out of, what is the wood that moths don't like? Cedar. Is it cedar? Like they're made out of those things, and like they have like the toe part and then the heel part, and it's like metal in the middle. That might do it. Maybe. I don't have a lot of experience doing it myself. And in terms of my favorite Korean foods, my favorite Korean foods are like the cheap, simple ones. I don't have a very sophisticated like Korean food palate. I eat kind of like a teenager does in terms of the Korean foods that I like. So my favorite foods I think that I can think of are basically like ramen, Korean ramen noodles. I love that. I love jjajangmyeon, which I believe is like a Korean Chinese food dish. It's kind of like macaroni and cheese. Or it's probably more like spaghetti, like the way that spaghetti served here in the U.S., or like what I would consider like equivalent to like spag bowl in the U.K. But with Korean food, instead of it being like a tomato-based like sauce, it's a black bean paste made sauce, and it's very salty, very savory, and very delicious. I love that. I also like tangsuyuk, which is like basically Korean style sweet and sour, you know, chicken or beef or pork. I don't really eat it anymore because I don't eat chicken, beef, or pork really anymore. So that's kind of sad. But it's usually the good ones come in a green sauce with like peppers, onions. Sometimes people put pineapple in that. I don't eat any of you never eat the vegetables anyway. They just flavor the sauce. But those are kind of like my favorite Korean foods. That and also mandu, Korean pot stickers. Love Korean pot stickers. All right, we got a super chat from Mark Rainey. Says, internet funding starts here. Kofuzi, you are great. Well, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. I know that the internet has been a struggle here. I thank you guys for your patience. I think as much as it's been a struggle, I laud that little D-Link router for doing the best that it can with everyone in this family, like definitely overworking it. But I appreciate it. The internet will improve once we get to my mother-in-law's house, because the internet there, she gets about as good download speeds, if not better, than I get in Chicago, than we get at home in Chicago. And the upload speeds are a little bit slower, but they're very solid. So I think it'll be good. I think we'll be in good shape once we can get over there, which should be soon. I don't know when it'll be. I'm hoping it's soon, though. All right. So Yasin Karyem says, hey, Ko, tuning in from South Africa. Love your channel. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Lewis Cameron's coming in from Boston. Terrence Huey says, hello, just joined. Keep missing the 1 p.m. start. Well, thank you for coming in. Glad to have you here. SJ Run says, good afternoon, Kofuzi. Don't know if someone commented already, but what are your first impressions on the Brooks Hyperion Elite 2? They're coming out in the fall. I don't have any experience with them. I haven't seen them yet. I've seen some photos, but I'm super excited. I'm not excited about the way that they were kind of rolled out, but, you know, it seems to be a relatively minor point to be mad about at this point, given kind of in the big scheme of things and everything else going on. But that's definitely a shoe that I'll pick up because I like the DNA Flash. I think it's amazing. And if they put that in a carbon-plated shoe, I mean, I'm thinking of it like a Hyperion Tempo Pro. If it's like that, yeah, I'll take that all day. But we'll see if it is. I don't know. The Brooks Hyperion Elite 1 was a shoe that I think is probably the only shoe that I've ever encountered that you legitimately didn't like it unless you are actually a pro. And then if you are a pro and can run at pro level speeds, then I think it worked for you. But there's not a lot of people that works for. Then again, it is called Elite. So I'm mad at it, but not that mad at it. So see, Chad Run says, I'm glad to see your channel growing. Also shows me that running might be getting more popular, which is great. Yeah, I think definitely it is. I think now is a time that it is getting more popular because people were looking to different ways of staying active the last couple of months. Yeah, so I think it's great as well. I got a comment today, a very long comment, that was a little bit aggressive, but in substance, it was saying that like, hey, can you review more cheaper shoes, which is a request I get from time to time. But the reason that they wanted the review of cheaper shoes is because those cheaper shoes from certain brands are the only ones that are available in India. And so a lot of the shoes that you review, we don't even get here. If we do, they're super expensive. for the entire time until they basically run out, so they never go on sale, and most people can't afford them. And they were telling me how many people there are in India and how much people in India watch YouTube and all this stuff. And I was like, I agree with all of those points. And I think that running is going to become a very popular sport in India. Not that Indian people didn't know how to run or about running, but as like a sport where like marathoning is popular, that people are interested in shoes and GPS watches and stuff like that. It's a market that's poised for extreme growth, I think. And I also said, I agree with all those points. And I think that it's a great time that if you are someone that speaks the native language to start your own channel, because then you know what's for sale and what's available in the local area, where you can get those things, what availability is like in different regions. And you could speak the native tongue, and I can't do any of those things. So I'm like, I'll happily pass and support anyone that's going to start doing that, because I think that's pretty cool. And I think that that's an area poised for not only running growth, but also YouTube running growth as well. And not just India, but like places like Brazil, places like India, places like China, Korea. I think that there's lots of opportunities there. So pretty cool. Let's see what else we got here. All right. Am I like super laggy right now? Oh, sorry about that. CJ Cruz says, my daughter loved the video editing video. Thanks. Awesome. That's cool. And Shannon says, I love to chat over phone. How can we exchange so that it's not all over the internet? Yeah. Well, I mean, we did have the call-in feature, but that I think is not what you guys were talking about. So I don't think I'm going to use that call-in feature anymore, the Friday phone-in. It was kind of fun, but I think the novelty wore off. I like this. I agree with Shannon, who said it earlier. I do like this better as well. All right. Let's see. Martha says, my right foot is about a quarter size bigger than my left. Certain models don't work because it puts me in between sizes. That's interesting. Mark Rennie says, wait till we see the cow faces when the 2-inch shorts fly by on July 3rd. Funny. I was actually thinking there is a track around here in town. It looks to be closed off right now. I don't think it's because of COVID. I think it's because it's summertime. But I also think that at least in this state, the fall sports have started practicing again. So like baseball, softball, I think, football, those sports have all started on the high school level, all started practicing again. So they might be using the track area or the infield. So I don't know if I can go over there because I wanted to do the time trial there because it'd be a nice flat place to do it, but also kind of boring because like who wants to run around a track for the amount of laps it is, however many it is for a 10K, and who wants to watch that? So I'll find something else to do the 10K. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that the chat is that the video stream is having such problems. I don't know why that would be, but I do think that like the internet has been very tired lately, but the chat does still work for sure. So hopefully you guys are at least at some point catching up, or like my stream is catching up to the conversations. Let's see. Adi Duanchan says, hey Kofuzi, I really enjoyed your new wave of videos in beautiful Gothenburg. Thinking about adding a race shoe in my rotation for a half marathon. Any suggestions on wide foot friendly pair? Wide foot friendly. I would say wide foot friendly could be the Razor 3 from Skechers Performance. That one, I think, for me, it's almost a little bit too wide, but definitely I think it's wide foot friendly. Other ones, that's probably the first one that comes to mind for like a half marathon racing shoe. Yeah, I would start there. Ines Dunbar says he refreshed the feed and it seems okay now. Well, hopefully, that does it. But yeah, the internet is struggling here. So, I will do my best. I'll keep talking. Hopefully that you guys that are participating in the live stream will get it eventually, maybe after some lag. But I know that people, at least in the podcast, can hear what I'm interacting with in terms of the comments. let's see. Martha says, one time my husband almost bought a pair of normally pricey shoes greatly reduced. Luckily, he noticed it was because the 2 shoes were different sizes. We still wonder who took the other 2 shoes. That's weird. It's weird that like the shoe store let them do that, because then you would need to find another person with 2 other feet the opposite sizes. Like, it just seems, I mean, they must have really been trying to help somebody out. And then they're like, what do we do with this? And then like, we're like left with that problem. That's crazy. Yeah. Crazy. Nathan N says, Mike, do you have any thoughts on the Jordan running shoes? Any thoughts on it? Personally, I grew up in New Jersey watching the Knicks as a big Knicks fan. And so like, I don't like anything Jordan. I mean, I don't even follow basketball anymore. I haven't followed basketball since the turn of the century. But it's just like that goes deep. And so like, I've never had a pair of Jordans or tried on Jordans before. And the Jordan running shoes just don't interest me. I think that there was a time where Jamie was talking about how he was going to start reviewing only Jordans. And I think he meant like reviewing only like the Jordan, like the basketball shoes or like the retro basketball shoes. And then people are all excited because at the time there was like a new Jordan running shoe that was getting released. But he never reviewed that one as far as I know. But it's not something that I'm planning on reviewing. Someone was saying, Matthew Wensell says, only 25 laps for a 10K, but we know you have a hard time counting laps on the track. Yeah, I would definitely lose track of the laps for a 10K if I had to count to 25. What I do on the track, and I still mess it up, is as I run on the track, I will do almost like kind of like when you're measuring I don't know if any of you guys played in band at all, but when you have rest, let's say I played the trumpet and we have a rest, and let's say it's like, all right, rest for 20 measures, and you do it and you go 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 3, so you could always remember like which measure you're on, and then when you're done with the 20 measures of rest, then you could play again. So I do the same thing when I'm running laps, and I try to remember it. So what lap I'm on, but even then, like I can't count to 5 if I'm running hard. So I think that we'll need to figure something else out. But I also want to try to make sure that I'm not like constantly like watching for like when the 10K mark would be. So maybe what I'll do is on my next couple of runs, I'll try to find like a relatively flat area to run in around here, which is a little bit difficult. And maybe or maybe I'll just map out a flat loop in town, because in town, like the area is pretty flat. And then I can measure it out that way. And so I'll maybe do like 4 loops around town really early in the morning. I don't think I'll have too much issue with cars. So that's probably what I'll have to do. Patrick Funk saying the lag is getting better. All right, good. Sorry. Ricardo Kadagiri is here. He says, yo, good to see you. Confucius83 says, are you still implementing cycling into the running plan? I'm currently not, because we don't have a bike here. I didn't bring a bike to Iowa. I don't own a bike. So the cycling that I was doing was on a spin bike or like an exercise bike in Chicago. We're in Iowa now, and when we came, I didn't bring the bike. I've been thinking, and it'll depend on kind of what happens with the Chicago courthouses when they open. They're currently scheduled to be, they're not scheduled to open at any point, but they're scheduled to be closed until July. And so if that closure extends, then I think at that point, I might buy a regular bike. Not like a fancy, super fancy bike, but a bike that I can take on the roads and put some road miles in. Because I think, bicycle riding is very popular. Cycling is very popular here in Iowa, and so I just feel like there's a lot of routes that I can run. It's less weird of a sight around here to see a cyclist than it is to see a runner. Although yesterday we were driving from Guttenberg back towards Dubuque to go pick up some packages at my sister-in-law's house, because that's where we've been sending all our packages. And along one of like the crazy hills, like the hills around here are pretty crazy. And some of them are bad enough that they're marked so that trucks know like just how bad the incline or the decline is going to be. And on one of the roads where the incline is 7%, and now I've been like, I don't know if I would want to run on that because it's such a long hill, it's such that constant grade of 7%. And then like we like crested the hill and started coming down another one, and I saw a lady just like jogging up, and she was like going after it like it was nothing, and I was like, whoa, that lady's tough. So there are runners around here. I've seen a handful, but mostly cyclists. So I do want to get on the bike again just to mix it up and to enjoy the scenery out here since we might be here for a while. So yeah. Greg Itahara, who I think has some experience with the Jordan racers, he says they're more lifestyle. So I will take his word for it. Let's see. Shannon Sai says, Kofuzi, would you say the shoe store needed to find literal soulmates to complete the unmatched pair? We're talking about those shoes that are different sizes. Yes. Yes. All right. Martha says she's getting a black screen, so sorry about that. Oh, it looks like I'm done here. It's having a problem. Okay. Yeah, in my preview, it looks like I'm like not getting a preview at all. So sorry guys about that. Yeah. Shannon says it's sticking, it's freezing and taking her to one of the videos. A couple of people have said the same thing. And Raymond Galicia said he got kicked off the video and he's refreshed and he's back. So sorry about that. Sorry about the disconnections here. Hopefully we will get it resolved. You know what? Maybe tomorrow, for happy hour tomorrow, I think what we'll do is maybe I'll just do it from my phone and keep it really simple. And because my phone gets decent data depending on where I sit in the backyard, because we are near a bluff, so sometimes like the signal gets blocked. So depending where I am, the phone can get a good signal. So maybe I'll try that for tomorrow. We'll see. Let me see if I can get any. Stevie76 says rotary phones and 56K dial-up. That's what it feels like sometimes with the upload speed. But also remember, I uploaded an hour-long video yesterday, and so I don't know like if we're getting throttled at another point too, because my daughters have been like, we've only been streaming content. My wife's been working, although a lot of her video calls have kind of tapered off a little bit. But the girls are still downloading a lot of content. I'm still downloading and uploading a lot of stuff. And so I'm wondering if we're getting throttled. But like, it's not like the neighbors are, maybe the neighbors are using a lot too. I don't know. I don't know like what the internet is like over here, really. Sorry. All right. Jason Dim says this stream seems fine now. All right. Well, we'll try and go for another couple minutes to at least try to get to 3:30 for 30 minutes for today. But while oh no, people said I'm gone now. All right. Well, it looks like the internet is winning today, or problems with the internet is winning today. So, wait, now it's saying the stream is healthy. Okay. So I think we're okay. We're getting a good connection now. All right. Jason Dam, we're back. Hey, all right. So we're back. So before it goes bad again, I do want to say that tomorrow I think I'm going to try to go like from my phone and use data that way to see if that works any better. I don't get the greatest reception here, but it might be better than what we have now. Oh man, I think we're losing it. But all right. But I think I am going to end it a little bit early. Yeah. So I think I'm going to end so many problems with the internet feed. So I apologize for that. I was having so much fun. I was enjoying the conversation. I hope you guys were too. I will answer the question in case it comes out for like later. Someone was asking me a question about, let's see, Boston 9 or Adios 5 for tempo work. For tempo work, I think it would depend on the length of the total run, but I might lean towards the Boston 9 for that. So with that question, I'll end it here. So I apologize for that. Hopefully we can get it better for tomorrow. And Greg was suggesting maybe for the live stream, we kick the kids off. You know, I was hoping that they would play outside with all the water toys during the live stream today, and that would free up some internet bandwidth. So we'll see if I can maybe convince them to do that tomorrow. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in and bearing with me. I appreciate that so much. I hope you guys stay safe out there on your runs, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.